Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Big talking Brewskis. Marissa Smith is who you see. Water cooler combo in here. Crack a cold one, we're on the air. Kicking back, having a few beers, we're chatting. Pull up your chair, we're all relaxing. Any subject, we never dismiss. Big talking Brewskis with Marissa Smith. Comedy, sex, relationships, more. Any subject, we got it in store. Big talking Brewskis is coming in live. Crack one open, Marissa has arrived. Big talking Brewskis with Marissa Smith. Yeah.
Hey guys, happy Friday. This is Big Talkin' Brewskis. I'm Marissa Smith. As always, I've got Rodney Daniels with me.
What's up, guys? Happy Friday.
We've got Lori Brownstone with us.
Happy Friday, everybody.
And Mo Vita.
Hello.
Mo. So, so even though this is Big Talkin' Brewskis, we are actually doing a White Claw edition right now.
White Claw
basic
edition.
and
We're
it's basic and
big
fuck
time.
But you know what?
it.
They ran out, and I saw it. I was like, oh, they got White Claw.
Yeah, like, you
I
know,
never
we're
had
just
one
like, you
before.
might as
You
well
haven't?
do
No.
a show with the White Claw before all the White Claw runs out.
Exactly.
Right? So
I heard that.
Yeah,
They're
no,
running out.
I heard
Yeah.
somebody saying, like, if you had a White Claw and a Popeye's chicken sandwich last week, you basically won the lottery.
Like,
I think I'd rather win the lottery. Thank you very much. I think I'd rather do that.
that's like the Ratchet lottery. That's,
Straight ratchet lottery. Basic bitch lottery.
that's the basic bitch lottery. That's not the real lottery. So now, Ronnie, how was your week?
My week was good. You know, I was just working, but I was living for all of the juiciness that was happening, all the tea on daytime TV. I don't know if you guys realized, like, it was okay. Let me just break it down for you. So
Go on, girl.
it was premiere week for like all of the big talk shows this week, right? So Wendy Williams premiered, and on Tuesday she had Tamar Braxton on the show. Now, if you guys know, Tamar Braxton used to be on The Real, which is another show that's on Fox that comes on right after Wendy. So she was like, you know, Tamar, like, tell us more about The Real and like what happened. And she was like, look, like there was a bunch of catty people on that show, and like I had to be real with myself, and I
Is
couldn't
that
be on the
code
show.
for white?
No. Well, no, because see, The Real is the only show that has just
I
like, it's
know,
all
I
women.
know.
Right. And so,
But I think they're all women of color.
it's all women of color. It's
Yeah,
a
I
three
think
panelist
they are.
show.
Yeah.
It's all women of color, right?
Yeah.
So then Wendy was like, well, you know, The Real is a cute show and all, but like they need you on that show. Like it's cute and all, but like they need you. So keep in mind, The Real is live right after Wendy. So Lonnie Love, comic, love her. That's my girl. That's what's up, Lonnie. She let Wendy know right
She
after
has some opinions.
real quick. She was like, yeah, hi, thanks for calling us a cute show, Wendy. We appreciate that. But don't forget, we're an Emmy-winning show, sis. Emmy-winning. Because, you know,
Shade.
straight shade.
Shade.
Because Wendy's never won an Emmy, been nominated, never won.
Hasn't she been on for like 10 years?
11. She's on season 11.
So
I
like,
feel like I'm the Wendy Williams of the Wendy Williams show because I've done the interviews as comics. I think like all of us have been out, and they've never used me.
damn it. I was on once. But
I never got on.
They didn't show the video of me. They just showed like a little square of my face.
Oh, you were a thumbnail. And
Yeah, I was a
an
thumbnail.
opinion.
Oh,
Yeah.
A thumbnail and
An
an
opinion.
opinion.
Yeah. I still use it as credit though.
Get used to it. If Trump wins again, just a thumbnail. And
They're
an
just
opinion.
gonna put a ring through our lips so we can't talk. Gilead is real.
Yes. So, like, that happened, and then Wendy also shaded Christy Brinkley. She was just like,
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes.
The Uptown Girl?
Yeah, tell us
Uptown
more.
Girl,
Oh,
because
what?
Christy Brinkley was supposed to be on Dancing with the Stars, and she was in rehearsal. And
How
it
are you?
fell.
That's punching down.
What? Oh. I didn't say it. Right.
I said it.
But listen, what happened was she fell and broke her wrist, right?
Oh.
And so then she had her daughter take her place on the show. And Wendy's like, oh, that was a setup.
That's like the only reason to have kids.
Wendy
don't
was
you?
like, no.
Exactly.
Wendy was like,
She
Mom's
saw
a little
Sean
tired.
Spicer come out in that
Yes,
god awful
did you see
outfit
that?
was like, I'm not doing this
No,
shit.
when Wendy showed the video of Christy falling, she was like, "That looked fake as hell." With quote, Wendy,
Fine.
fake as hell.
Fine.
But okay, so
Because
then,
her lawyer told her that's how you get out of the
Exactly.
contract.
well, hello. Wait, so then Christy Brinkley later on in the week, I think I'm like yesterday, Thursday, she went on The Talk and was like, Wendy said that this was fake and look, it's real. This bitch brought real receipts, X-rays. In the background, receipts. It was like, look, I'm all bruised up. Like, these are
Excuse
real
me,
bruises.
doth protest too much.
Hello. She literally cried, bitch. You made Christy Brinkley cry on national TV.
That's just because she's hungry. It's fine.
She hasn't
Those
eaten
were,
in 40
those
years.
were real
That's right.
tears. That was that Botox fucking up her
They had
face.
cheeseburgers in the green room, but I could only smell them.
She's probably eating
know
it
how
running
hard
to the
it is
bathroom,
to
you know?
throw up.
It's like, I smelt a salad. I need to purge. So now, Lori, how was your week?
My week. Well, I looked after my brother's dog in the financial district. Got eaten alive by
That's
him. Big
fake.
dog.
That's fake.
Oh.
That's fake.
That's-
You're trying to
that's
get out of
fake.
dancing
I
with the
want- where's your
Simpsons.
X-ray?
Where's your
I want the
receipts?
X-rays.
Where's your
The X-rays.
receipts, bitch?
I have a problem. My brother's a lawyer. It's not going to fly. So I'm kind of screwed on that. Just really, tell you what, great week, little frustrating day. All of the protests. I was right in the financial district. All of the protests, couldn't get anywhere. And I'm like, can't you guys just come out on a
That's such a New
Saturday.
York thing.
Yeah. I
That's
know.
such a New York thing. Like, fuck you. You're fucking up my commute.
Exactly. I can't fucking get downstairs. Move that. Do this on a
so
Saturday when
funny.
I'm not here. Right.
That's exactly. I was watching
The
it this
environment,
morning.
fuck you. I gotta get from A to B. Fuck off.
Exactly.
I was watching Good Day New York this morning. That's exactly what Lori Stokes was saying. Like, why they can't do it on a Saturday? Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Why can't they? And then I went into this other, and then I
Because
felt
they're
guilty.
kids and they have to play video games on
they
Saturday.
let
Exactly.
they let
They
the
let all the high school
parents
kids.
they let the parents let their kid, like, with their permission, go do these protests.
Right, because how many kids would actually show up on a Saturday and give up sleeping in video games? So it'd be like, nah, I don't think
We
I'll
love the
go.
environment, but not that
Exactly,
much.
Yeah.
exactly. I think, but then I ran into another one at Grand Central Station, and I felt really guilty because I'm like, why were these protesters there? And then I saw the signs, and it was like, free the babies in Turkey, and I'm like, okay, I'll give you that one. I feel really bad, but I'll walk.
Turkeys
a couple
are
minutes.
having babies. What?
They are having
What?
babies. The turkeys are having babies.
Free
what can
them?
I say?
I don't
Free,
know.
free the
Gross.
babies in Turkey.
Is that like a
Around-
turducken thing? No. I'll show myself out.
I didn't know
Thank
that
you.
the babies in Turkey weren't free. Like, to be honest, I had no idea that that was a problem.
If I had a baby, you could have it for free.
Oh,
You
like,
can
if
have
I
mine
had
for
one,
free. You
could
can have
for
mine,
free, too.
please. Take
Oh, no,
mine.
no.
Shit, Mo, you can have my
I
eggs.
thought we killed all the turkey
I'm
babies
so
for
done.
Thanksgiving.
I'm so done. My gynecologist told me recently, game over, and it's beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
If you want mine, I still have some college debt that needs to be paid off. Now is the time. Now's the time to take the kids, please. Now's the time.
All set. Thanks.
I haven't been reviewed lately, but like the last time I was reviewed, I was like in my 30s. Not to say that I'm not in my 30s now.
Yep.
But like they were just like, oh, like, you know, like literally my gyno was just like, you're reproductively immature, so like you don't have to worry for some time. Like, you know, start figuring out what you want to do, but like you don't need to rush because like you're like reproductively in your 20s.
Oh.
So are you going to freeze?
No, that's expensive.
Oh yeah, that's right. Have Rodney look
That's
after
like
that. I
more
think he'd do
expensive
that.
than like actually having a kid.
You're right.
and it
right.
doesn't really guarantee anything. Like,
Yeah.
anyhow.
'Cause I'm
I
still
would
gonna
never
need
shit
to
on
matter.
people who want to
It
have
depends on what you're freezing.
families.
Are you freezing an actual embryo or are you
Eggs.
just freezing the eggs?
No, you freeze your eggs in
Because
the
you don't know
hopes-
who the daddy is.
Because you
gonna be.
motherfuckers can have babies into your God knows what. That's why I love being on dating
Like
apps and some 50-year-old guy, like, the question's like, do you want to have kids? And their answer is someday. And I'm like, fuck you.
Someday, really, I know.
The thing that I
'Cause
think
they
is interesting
Asshole.
is that
Right?
so like they used to say that the reason why like kids were autistic or had like developmental
Down syndrome.
disabilities was because of an old mother. And like recent research has actually showed that it's actually because of an old father. And so something happens to a guy after he turns 30 that his like sperm deteriorates almost like 10% every 5 years
Yeah.
after 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like by the time
Okay.
that they're
I
like,
was like, I
But
started
that's
getting
also
nervous.
true for us.
I started getting nervous.
no, it's not.
It
Because like from the research that I read, because we're born with the same eggs, like there's no deterioration because it is the
Oh.
same exact egg that you had when you were born.
Right. Okay. I see what you're
So
saying.
as like a man,
But your ability
To
to
actually
get pregnant
carry.
and carry does.
Or we just run
deteriorate.
out, I
that
guess.
deteriorates, but the actual egg itself doesn't
But I don't know,
deteriorate.
because here's the thing, and I'm not questioning you. I had a friend who went through IVF, and her doctor told her that after, gosh, she had, oh, bless her heart, she had so many pregnancies that went away, and her doctor had told her that it's kind of because of her eggs also, and it's nature's way of protecting against, like something that's not viable. I don't know. I'm just repeating.
But
like
well,
a parrot.
So like,
Damn.
but I feel like she might have had bad eggs to start with.
Maybe.
So like from the research that I read,
You got some fucking
What?
rotten eggs, bitch.
Bitch was born with
She
bad
had grade
eggs.
B eggs.
You got
right?
those. You got those salmonella eggs.
Yeah.
Nah, get out of here with that
We don't
shit.
want that.
It's
We don't
like,
want
yeah.
that.
Look,
But,
you
like-
guys don't have kids, right?
No.
Right.
Okay,
No.
so here's what's happening. Here's what's like producing a kid. You go into the kitchen and they blindfold you and they put a bunch of ingredients and shit on the counter. You're blindfolded. You mix all the shit up together, put it in a pan, put it in the oven, and see what comes out. That's exactly what having
Yeah.
a baby is.
Yeah.
It's terrifying, but when you're younger, it's less terrifying because you're
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
younger.
stupid. You're a little
Yeah,
well,
you're
stupid.
younger.
Yeah, like
You're
really
not-
You don't
crazy.
think it's hard
How,
about
how many
things.
kids do you have?
I have 3.
Oh
Okay.
Lord.
I have 3, and I guess I should mention this, but I also have 2 grandkids.
Okay.
I know, but I want to be really young.
That's
you know,
what I want.
Well,
I
all you-
just want the grandkids. I
Well,
don't want the fucking kids.
Exactly, but I have
just
to
want
But I have to
grandkids.
lie about my age and then say that my kids are sluts and I'm white trash, and that's why I'm a grandmother.
You
Otherwise,
know
it
what?
doesn't
Fuck
work.
that. People tell me not to talk about my age on stage, and I'm like, fuck you. I want to
Who
talk.
said-
I
who
want.
told you that?
I have because I do jokes, and I'm like, I'm 45, and people are like, you shouldn't tell people how old you are, and I'm like, fuck you. I
Bitch.
100% should because
Right.
people need to know
People need
that
people
can
can
do
Google
that.
you and figure that out. It's
But
like we
it's
live
not
in
even
2019.
that. I want women my age to
To
feel like
understand
they
it.
have a voice.
Yes, but the
Yeah.
problem is that, and I'm sorry, I know there's so much ageism in this
Industry.
society,
Everywhere.
especially in our industry.
Yeah.
But that's how you get past it, in my opinion, is where
Yeah.
you push forward and you're like, no, fuck you.
Exactly, but you have to be almost be
But
better
you're
than the
true.
younger people. You almost have to be better. You know,
We are.
I auditioned for
Wait,
this
I
one.
was going to say at 45, you probably.
I once auditioned
Have
for
you
something.
heard of the
I-
black tax?
black tax? That's right. It's just not fair. All these goddamn wrinkles and everything. Okay, we're not going to talk about that, I guess. But but even in our industry, I had somebody say, "Hey, you had the best set in the world, but you're too old to work at my club." I mean, I've had that happen.
Have you really?
Who
you-
said-
yes.
Somebody said that
Oh,
to you?
See, I find
yes.
that interesting.
Yeah,
I find that
at this
interesting
one club. I
because-
don't know if I want to mention it, but there's one club. I'm not going to mention it on the Upper East Side, but it actually, he
Really?
said too old for my club, and I was younger. I know I was even about 5 years, but I was.
I
told
know who
that
that
was-
is.
Yes,
But that's
Oh.
really interesting because
only
here's-
place though I've experienced.
But
that.
here's the thing, and this is what I've noticed because I actually work in a market that is very much younger, like 20 years younger than me, and
But look at you. You're thin.
No,
you're
no, but-
blonde. You're pretty. I mean, you could
no,
pass.
no.
You're
But
so
that's
young.
not what it's about because topically, I talk about topical things, right? So I talk about things that are real to me, and the thing is that when I do shows, right, the audience, I mean, the paying audience, they're not.
They don't care.
Poor,
They don't care.
young.
They don't
kid,
care
you know?
how old you are. They really don't.
But they're the people who are out on date night, and I can't tell you. I get 2 things, well, 3 things. So I get the women my age coming up to me and being like, "Oh, thank God, it's so nice to
Exactly.
hear somebody." And the second thing is young girls. Actually, I've had like a lot of young girls come up to me and be like, "You're my spirit animal," and I'm like, "Oh, you need better parents." And then, of course, I get like the young guys who are like, "I'd fuck a cougar," and I'm like, "You'd fuck a grapefruit." So
Exactly,
thanks,
exactly.
but also
Yeah.
no. So I think comedy clubs are kind of missing it because when you look at your audience, like yes, some are younger, but a lot of them are kind of middle aged.
You have to go where the disposable income is.
Yeah, exactly.
But like I also have that like kind of thing because I don't say my age on stage, but I have a joke that I'm like, oh, I recently had a birthday. I'm at the age that every time I pee, I also fart.
I know. Yeah, I know. I'm doing it right now. You know, I'm doing it right now.
I got there through like
My
but, like,
weekend was literally I went to a bachelorette party and another friend of mine had a hysterectomy. So tomato.
Exactly. And so like I've had younger comics come up to me and be like, I know that you get a lot of laughs on that joke and that joke hits, but like it's going to make people think that you're old. Like you shouldn't tell a joke that makes people think that you're old. And I'm like, bitch, I you, I am old.
But I don't understand why they're so concerned on your behalf.
Why are you first of all telling me the jokes that I'm telling?
Oh, I'm sorry.
These are
I
the jokes
gotta laugh, bitch. That's what we
wanna
do.
tell. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I get up there, and that's I love getting on stage because that's like the only time you get to speak your truth. You have the microphone to yourself.
You
and
got
you can
it.
talk about whatever the fuck
It's authentic.
you
Yep.
want to talk about.
Yeah.
So if I want to talk about how old I am, or if I like fart and pee at the same time, that's my motherfucking business.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't get that, and it's really interesting because you're right. It's these people who come up to you and tell you that, and you're just like, wait, you literally just told me I get all these laughs, and you're telling me not to say that. I
It's
mean,
like,
I'm
I
here
had
to
3
get
applause
laughs.
breaks, bitch. How many applause breaks did you have? Silence.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the younger comics too. I mean, the younger stage people, they all I mean, some of them are fabulous, but a lot of them talk about the same shit because they don't have the life experience. Like being disappointed so many times and getting fatter and skinnier and being disappointed in life and being miserable. I mean, they haven't been miserable as long as we all have. So, I mean, what the hell do they have to talk about, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying is that I do find the audiences to be very receptive, and they don't listen. They don't care about your age unless you're doing like hacky bullshit stuff. But if you're being authentic and you're speaking your truth, as you said. They're on board, and even the younger people are on board with that.
Across the board, no
Yeah.
matter what age you are, if you just get up there and you speak your truth, people are receptive and you'll get laughs.
I mean, that's kind of how this sounds dumb and maybe a little narcissistic, but I feel like that's what I try to do with my comedy. I don't go up and do like super political stuff. But what I do or try to do, and it's couched in like sex jokes, granted, but what I try to do is be like, look, you can be this age, you can be strong as a woman. I want to like live what I want people to be able to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No,
I
I
think
think like
it's
I have a white
I don't wanna
privilege joke
preach.
that's cloaked in a shit joke.
Me too. No, I'm kidding.
I just
Yeah, you do actually. I love that joke.
I just go up there naked. I don't know what you guys do, but that's hopefully we'll go.
I have done a nudist show. I have done a nudist
naked show?
Yes, I have.
I can't. Not with these thighs.
No, you. Oh, let me tell you something. Yes, you can. I did a show at a nudist
Obama?
resort, and it was like, because in your head you're like, this is that's so sexy, and it looked like a bunch of melting people.
Well, how about that new law? The judge had just passed. You don't mind me bringing it up now,
Yeah.
but the new law that just I think it was in Colorado, and there's 5 other states that women can legally go topless.
Yeah,
It's topless
I'm
here,
going
too.
back home, and
Yeah.
I'm taking my titties out.
I was gonna say it's a law here in New York too. You can be
You can
topless.
do that
can be a
because
woman
they've
and be
had like
topless.
parades and stuff,
Yeah,
marches or
well,
whatever.
yeah. You
Well,
get a
that would be
pride
the gay
parade.
pride parade. Yeah.
No.
But
Why
if
do you
you-
think my boyfriend likes to go to the gay pride parade? Because of all the titties he gets to see.
But
I
if
mean,
you
come
go,
on.
you can go to Times Square right now, and there's women like topless, like with like boobs painted and
So
stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I
Painted titties.
don't believe that it should have ever been illegal for women to not go be able to go topless. I believe it should have been illegal for anyone to have gone topless. Like, there's so many men that are outside, no shirt on, that I'm like,
Got bigger titties than me.
bigger
Let me
titties.
tell you.
no.
Although
boo,
you-
boo, no.
Although,
See,
you know,
this is where we
but
got.
here's-
I
But here's the
disagree.
difference. You have a guy with big tits, we go, ooh. But any woman that walks out there, it's going to be sexual for almost any guy.
this
Except for
is-
me, maybe.
But
It-
this
it's
is the
sexual- it's
dichotomy
sexual with
of
the
this
guy with the
stupid
pecs
country.
and the abs.
It's not true. I mean, it's
Everybody
not right, but
needs
it's
to
true.
put some motherfucking clothes on.
But here's
like,
the thing,
that's
this
just
is
No,
what I
they
love
get
about
more
this country.
naked.
no.
Like, titties are
cover
just
your
titties.
ass.
You know, like, because I'm European, and it's hilarious to me because in Europe, it's like they're sexual, but they're sexual when it's like appropriate and it has its place and whatever, but they don't sexualize everything, you know, like they're just tits for crying out loud, you know?
Now, I'm originally from North Central Canada, so I approve of that. Yeah, because in the wintertime, my tits will be pointing up at the ceiling. I mean, it's so cold there. It's like minus 40 degrees where
That's
I'm
why I
from.
wear padded bras. It's not because I don't have like big tits. It's because I'm like, you don't need to know if I'm cold or what. And also, my nipples don't agree.
Oh, why? Are
I
they
hate
pointing in different directions?
No,
or
no,
what's
no,
the
Is
no.
one-
Like
one's
they don't
cold,
agree on
one's
the
not
temperature.
cold?
Oh, I
Yeah,
see,
like
I
it's
see.
like I'm like, what the fuck
You-
left?
The right
Wait.
side is cold, and the left side is temperate.
My right nipple is very frigid, and the left is extremely liberal.
Can you imagine going on the subway topless? What would happen? I mean, really.
I did the. Did you ever do the no pants?
No.
Oh, that's not the Santa Con pants, like the
No,
half naked
no,
thing.
that's
That's
different.
No, no.
It like
SantaCon, they have
technically
pants.
no,
Oh, okay.
but
At
I'm
the end
sure
of the
there's
night, you
yeah.
have no pants.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it was. I
Yeah.
came home at 3 a.m. I just thought it was
Eh.
naked Santa Claus night.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what was going on. I was turned on. I just rode there and back from Queens to Brooklyn. That's all it was.
You stayed on the train.
You arrived at the fucking part of the evening.
Right.
That's just the shit show. No, they do a no pants subway ride, which I love, and I did that one year.
But like, I would never want to sit on the subway with no pants.
Well, you have underwear
You
on,
have
don't
underwear on.
Yeah, but you're still
And
got
you don't have
cheek
to
meat.
sit. You don't have to sit.
But I'm standing like a schlub. No.
Oh, I always stand. I'm not a
What
subway
I
sitter.
well,
Sit
first of
down.
all, they do it in January, I think. So I had on like boots and a fur coat, faux fur, thank you, and like my Superwoman.
Don't be
underpants
bullied.
or
You can
whatever.
wear real fur if you want.
Oh, you know
to.
what?
I don't. Want
They-
to.
they're-
I
those-
can't afford it. I'm a comic. What are you talking about? I have like a Target fur coat. On.
If
This is Target too.
if it's in January, those guys must be very confident if they're going to wear just underwear. I mean, come
Right?
on.
Shrinkage.
Exactly. Confident guys.
Yeah.
And if you do see a package, you're like, "Hi, what's your name?"
Exactly.
Well, hello, sailor.
You have January dick that size? Can we connect?
Well, that's why I sit down on the subway.
Can I fall? Can I fall?
Ow, you poked
into
my
your-
eye out. God damn it. What is that, an icicle, or are you happy to see
That's
me?
the reason why I don't sit down on the subway, because I don't want to be like face to ass with somebody.
Shut the
do.
fuck up,
I
Rodney.
yeah, it all depends.
I've
all
never
the
been
time.
face to ass before in my life.
You know what? It's sexual harassment until you want to fuck
I like
'em.
the
You know,
asshole with
that's
the
what
fava
it is.
beans.
You liar.
So now, Mo, how was your week?
How was my... Wait, what is today?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah. How was my week? It was mundane. I flew here yesterday, and travel was garbage. But
From
that's
where?
always the case. Denver. Yeah.
Where you're from?
I'm originally from Denver. I'm gonna go free my nips when I get back.
And smoke some.
You know what? I don't smoke. I actually don't really fuck with weed because it makes. I don't smoke. I don't like to smoke, just in general smoke. And edibles make me super dizzy. I found like a good 1-to-1, but I digress.
You gotta find the right one.
I do, but I literally. Well, here's the funny thing. So I grew up in Colorado. I went to school in Boulder, for Christ's sake.
I love Boulder.
Oh, I do too, but I never really fucked with drugs. And then I decided when I came back one time for a visit in New York, I went to a friend. I'd been drinking all night, and I went to a friend's birthday party, and he had an edible. I have no idea how much I took, but I know that I forgot how to walk. And I went.
Do you have any on you, by the way? Oh, no, just kidding.
God, I wish. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to travel with drugs. I'm a very. We were talking.
We'll talk off
I
air.
suck.
We'll talk off air.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Well, I need tips too, please.
Yeah. But
There are ways.
it was fine. I mean, my week was okay, but yeah, the travel here, like
Outside of the booty?
Yeah. Just wait. Like, we'll talk.
She's like, we'll talk offline.
Oh, right, exactly, right.
what's
There's, in your luggage.
I mean, I have a natural pocket, so.
This is true.
But I mean, if I do gummies, I don't have to fucking. They don't
No,
care.
you just buy the hair. You just
They
buy
don't
the
care.
regular bunnies off the.
But they don't give a
the very
shit
top.
if you
put it
leave
up.
with it. Like Denver, why would they care in Denver if you leave with that shit?
You
The
can just ship it
problem
to
is
your place.
arriving.
Yeah.
Have
Well,
you
they don't
seen
check you
LaGuardia?
arriving,
They
though.
don't fucking do
that's
shit.
right.
I don't know. I don't travel.
You know, in Canada, when I went back to my
LaGuardia's
hometown
the
this
worst,
summer,
man.
it was really weird because you could just go on the street, walk, smoke a joint, and watch people and everything. But there's big signs at the airport where it comes to customs and everything. It's like, don't leave with any weed.
Like,
don't
yeah,
bring
we
any
have
weed.
that too.
You know, you
yeah,
gotta
no,
do
we
that
have
stuff.
that too. But like, nobody fucking listens, and who cares?
Well, the TSA is all smoking potted there anyway. They're all kind
Yeah.
of
Wouldn't
talking,
you
yeah.
if you were fucking?
Yeah, I
TSA?
think so.
Good lord, what a shit
Right.
job that is.
Take my water bottle, but leave the knife that's in my backpack that you forgot. You know, it's kind of.
Yeah, could make sense.
For real. I was so pissed because I'm very bougie and I have TSA pre-check and they didn't have enough people. And I'm like, what the fuck am I paying for? Which, by the way, I think is a conspiracy. And they're trying to push people to pay for Clear. Which, if you don't know what Clear
I know-
is,
yeah, I know what
right?
that is,
But they
yeah.
use your fucking eyeball and your fingerprint. I'm like, I've seen Minority Report.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, me too. Unless Tom Cruise comes out, then I'm okay with that. That's okay.
I mean,
They're gonna have to.
He's
bust
never
out
gonna really
Keanu
come
for
out.
me.
Oh yeah! That was the best setup and best punchline. That's excellent.
That was great. Like, swoosh. Damn.
Love it.
Damn. So true.
my week was boring. That's the point.
That's the bottom line. So now, like Mo, like in comedy, we've had a big week of cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we've had a big couple of months of cancel culture
It's ongoing.
because, like, I feel like they came for Chappelle, and then
They didn't cancel him, though.
They didn't. They tried to.
Well, he canceled himself, didn't he? I mean, that was the whole thing.
That
I mean,
man
didn't he
is
walk
making
away?
money hand over fist. He didn't. No, he's
No.
fine.
But,
That was
like,
a great special, by the way.
Burr too.
Burr,
Yeah,
too.
they tried to go
absolutely.
for Chappelle, Burr.
But let me
and
tell you
then-
something. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, if you guys watched the last Chris Rock special, like, I love Chris
I
Rock,
have
but
seen
that
it.
last special, I was like, what are you doing? It was almost like a fucking pharmaceutical commercial where it's like, I'm gonna say it, but then I'm gonna have all these disclaimers, and it was so I was like really happy to see Chappelle and Burr be like, no, fuck you. This is comedy, and it's okay if you don't like what I'm saying. Like, this is what I don't understand. People act like being offended is a fucking terminal illness. It's not. You know what? If you have a visceral reaction to something somebody says, congratulations, you're alive. You're a thinking human being, and you have an opinion, and that's great. And if you want to share it, fantastic. But this idea of, you know, I'm going to go after you and try to destroy you is bullshit.
That is
And by the
crazy.
way, slippery slope, because you don't know when they're going to come for you. So watch out, motherfucker.
You know what? If you don't like what they're saying, turn off the fucking channel.
Watch
Big
something else.
deal.
Just right. And comedy is supposed to be polarizing.
It
It's supposed to
is.
be polarizing. Either you love me or you hate me. But you're going to respect the fact that I'm up here and I'm speaking my truth.
And we
here's
never
the-
used to go after people. We never went after Richard Pryor. I mean, some people like
Who
George
said
Burns,
all
if you
types
remember.
of
You know,
crazy
who
stuff.
said, "Who cares?"
But
George
he's the
Burns.
Kidding
God
me? Like,
Godfather
watch
of
some of the
comedy.
sitcoms. Three's Company.
Yes.
Three's Company
Yes.
was so, like, people loved it, and it was so homophobic.
Oh,
Yeah.
how about All in the
So-
Family? How about All in the
of that.
Family? Oh my
But
God!
Here's the thing with comedy, and this is honestly what disturbs me a tremendous amount, because as comics, what we've often done is use kind of like tongue-in-cheek satire. So what I mean by that is, in order to show the ridiculousness of what's happening in society, we kind of take that side and then push it further, right? So, you know, like when you, as a comic, this is extreme, but like when you make a rape joke, you don't fucking think rape is funny. You're
Exactly.
making fun of like how disturbing it is, how some of the fucked up things are taken in society. And the fact that like we're no longer intelligent enough to understand that that's what's happening, that like I hear that a lot with these people who come after it, where it's like, that's not the joke. That's the premise.
Exactly.
Like Dina Hashem, right? It's like she wasn't making fun of that rapper who got shot. Like that was the premise. And she, so to me, what's really disturbing about the whole thing is that people are not listening. And I don't know if their critical thinking is gone, if their understanding of satire. And I read somewhere like, an intelligent group of people are able to understand that. Like they understand those things. And I feel like that understanding has gone away.
So like I'm of two minds in the whole thing. So like one, like kind of just to piggyback on what you directly said was that like intelligent people understand satire. I believe that in this particular moment of time in history, we have more autistic people than have ever existed in time. And autistic people don't understand satire. They don't understand sarcasm. They like, and so like,
And that's okay.
they're and that's fine.
But comedy's not
but,
for them.
But like, I feel like comedy is not for them, and they don't get the idea that like, yes, you're like saying something that's completely outrageous, but you're saying that thing that's completely outrageous to highlight the fact that it's so
ridiculous.
outrageous.
Yep.
And for them, they just think like, oh, you're
believe
just
that.
saying something like what you just said is so racist, so sexist, so like misogynistic. It's like and like they just have like all of the lights going off on the boards of everything that's so offensive about that thing, but they don't understand that like you just like said that thing to highlight the fact that it's so offensive. Like earlier,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
like earlier today when you were just kind of like, oh, well, you never know the next election. I was just like, oh, next election, they're going to put rings through our lips. Now, like, do I think it's a possibility? I mean, anything is possible. But the whole point of me saying that was just kind of like
The extreme.
It's the extreme. Like the direction that we're going, women will have no voice if he gets reelected. That's probably hyperbolic, but I think that it's highlighting the possibility of this happening. I think if you're on the spectrum, if you're autistic, like you don't understand the nuance for it.
That's a
However-
good point. I mean, I do
Right.
think that's a
But-
really good point.
However, I also think that cancel culture is the pendulum swinging from the side that people were saying really disgusting shit all the time and never getting called out for it. Like people were saying racist, misogynistic, sexist things all the time. Like how did Harvey Weinstein exist for 20 fucking years? Because
Money.
Bill Cosby.
I don't know, but I would fuck Harvey Weinstein in a second if I could get a role at my age. And I know that a lot of comics say
I
that.
d-
But,
yeah,
but the honest truth is that,
But
yeah,
he
because
wasn't even. He was just like, show me your boobs.
oh, I show my boobs and then I wouldn't get hired. But but I know what you mean. Like it's but
the pendulum swinging.
But I read a really interesting article, and forgive me because I don't know who, but somebody actually pointed out, they're like, beware of a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Mhm.
Because when you really look a little bit deeper at who is creating the cancel culture, you think it's liberals.
right.
Mhm.
But, you have to be
it's that
careful.
Brett crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like it's so like and again, like I'm of like two minds of the whole shit because like I know like for Chappelle, there was a lot of like LGBTQ people that were really upset with what he said.
See, and I thought that was a brilliant joke.
And there's Bret Bart people that just like Chappelle is going to save the culture. And to be honest, like I didn't watch his special.
Okay.
From what I read, he was just calling LGBTQ people the alphabet people.
Well,
Well-
he did a couple of jokes.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with that. One, and this is interesting, by the way, because I also that whole joke that he did about LGBTQ and
See,
being
I
in a
thought that
car.
was very clever.
But wait, I heard somebody put up a video of I'm sorry, Owens, the guy who was on the Steve Burns show. I'm sorry, I don't remember your first name. But anyhow, and he did I mean, when I say very similar joke at Levity Live. And he, by the way, is known to be a conservative. So that was interesting to me that people were like calling Chappelle out for not being like stealing a joke in essence. But then the other, I think what, and correct me if I'm wrong if you know, but I think what they had an issue with is he also did a joke where he used the word, I'm going to say it. Ready, guys?
Okay.
He used the word faggot because he was talking about how he couldn't say that, like he got censored on the Chappelle show, and then they equated it to the N-word. Should I say that? Just kidding. I'm not gonna. Sorry.
I was shaking my head because I agree. I it depends on the context.
But here's what. Okay. But the point is that, so he made this joke about it, and he was like, whatever. So I don't know if it was the the LGBTQ joke was kind of I thought was really clever.
I thought it was very clever.
I heard it was more that joke where he was called in for having the F word, and then the whatever executive was like, well, that's like the N word, and he goes, well, the difference is like I'm not the N word or whatever.
Rodney, you're
I'm
LGBTQ.
the
Yes.
LGBTQ
Yes.
person at the table.
And
Did you watch
I
the
did
Chappelle?
not, I did not watch the Chappelle
Okay.
come on,
special.
Okay.
But I have watched a lot of Chappelle specials and Chappelle in
I
general.
want you to watch. I
And
really want.
I
your
really
opinion.
want you to watch that.
I genuinely want
I'm
your
gonna see it
opinion.
after the show. But I do want to say the fact that Chappelle has always in his career made fun of everybody.
Right.
Like he's always made so that to me, when you have to look at a comics material, and if they're always making fun of everybody and that's like what they do, then that's just what he does.
Like
And
Don
that, to
Rickles,
me-
if you
I
Right.
almost, but
It's
I
like
almost
not
feel like that
offensive.
joke, the LGBTQ joke, is not even necessarily making fun of the people. I think it's kind of tongue in cheek about like the
Right.
labeling
Well,
and the
I'm saying
this
making
and
fun
the
of
that.
like writing jokes like
I feel
about.
like it was
he
the
writes jokes
other joke.
for everything.
Yeah.
Racism.
He comes for everyone.
He comes for everybody. He comes for society. He comes for
Yeah.
racism. Like, and that's just who he is. Now, if you have like there's other comedians that they only talk about certain things, and all of a sudden they want to use the F word. That's not okay. But like, this is what he does.
But actually, the
Kind
reason
of like
it's
Eddie Murphy. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
offended by him
No.
at all, and I'm very excited
Yeah,
about
but
his
like
special
Eddie
coming
Murphy
out.
like got arrested for like having sex with a
With a
trans person.
exactly.
So, like, I feel like he's family. Like I feel like you can't even.
can't even do any.
You know what I mean? I feel like you can't even put him in like the
Let me
same
go back to
category.
doth protest. Do you mind?
What? Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Like I just
Oh, I'm
kinda
sorry.
feel like.
You're making fun of LGBTQ? Really? Who's sucking your dick right now, Eddie?
See, right.
What did you suck that lady's penis or not?
Fucking Dave Chappelle apparently loves feet. Like
But the guy, perfect example, the guy from SNL. Like that guy
The guy who
canceled.
got
I got
canned,
opinions.
right.
That
I got
Yeah, I got
opinions.
opinion. Yeah, about
about
that.
that.
I got
Like
opinions.
I also, because I listened to the stuff that he was talking,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just kind of like, yeah, it was all kind of racist and uncouth.
That
and,
I mean,
and there wasn't like really
yeah, it was
a
that
kind of meaning
wasn't
behind
that
it,
funny.
a purpose,
Yeah.
and it wasn't funny. And
But so jokingly, and please don't skewer me on this, but again, very tongue in cheek, right? I was like, oh wait, I'm like, a Southern white male didn't use the N word. # baby steps.
Right.
I mean, you know,
Yes.
come
So,
on.
like,
And
I-
I'm not saying it's okay. That's not what I'm saying.
Well,
but,
do you think that
know.
he should have gotten fired? Because I don't think he should have.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
I mean, I'm sure
I don't
the
want to be. I don't want to
advertisers-
be a
the
conspiracy
advertisers.
theorist. But what the fuck? I mean, come on now.
Well, it's
do
the
no
advertisers. Well, I'm sure it's the
I
advertisers
see
who
what
said,
you're
"Hey,
saying.
if you put him on."
You
Well,
see
well,
what
no,
you feel me
because
though?
if we can Google what his podcast was, like that was this
And
year.
he really
or
did. It
something.
wasn't.
Yeah.
He claimed that it was part of a joke.
Well, how about vetting
It
him
really
before you
wasn't.
offer him?
From what I
Well, then
heard,
vet him.
he's
You
saying that
guys
it was
are-
part of a character.
Right.
He said he was in character when he did it. There's
I'm
my,
gonna say no.
the thing that like about that is that again I'm of two minds. So like one, I'm going to put my like ultra liberal hat on, and I'm going to say that when we start censoring anyone, we all get censored.
It's
and
a slippery slope.
Right.
You don't know
It
when
is.
they're coming for you. Now, my slightly liberal hat with some sort of conservative leanings goes on. I will say that because we've had so many years uncensored where people were just saying disgusting shit all the time, and that we were subjected to things that were racist, sexist, misogynistic, and now we have a backlash because we have
It's a pendulum swing.
like an alleged sexual predator as a president. I mean, although he admits to sexually assaulting people,
I'm like, that's not alleged.
But then,
but
That's
my-
admitted.
like,
remember the SNLs of the
I feel
1970s
like
and 80s?
I-
They were
They
they
brought
were
that up.
really
They
bad.
brought
that up.
the reason
good.
why people are kind of like swinging against that right now is because like we've had to deal with so many years of listening to this shit. And so like now people are just like, no. And so now here's where do you draw the line?
Well, I
wait.
have a little bit of a different perspective. Outside of comedy, I was a journalist with Gannett News Service for about 25 years.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you that and the journalism thing is like a big deal. And here's how it ties in before I got into comedy. I remember when there was a Ku Klux Klan rally. Okay, obviously I'm deathly opposed to it. They want to kill me. They want to kill, I
Everyone.
can't,
Everyone.
and so even though I am thrilled that I live in a country that allows them to have the right to have a sort of peaceful rally. Yes, it makes my stomach turn and I can't stand it. But we
that's
can't
also how
do
you
that.
address it. So, okay, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I don't think
Yeah.
they should ever have a rally. I don't think they should be allowed
Okay,
to.
so here's
Ooh.
wait, hold on. So here's the thing, though.
Yeah, I'm of two minds of
There,
that.
yeah.
same
So,
thing.
couple things. One is very quickly to kind of go back to this cancel culture thing, and how it was before. You were talking about that. I do feel like people evolve. So I'm going to be real honest. I grew up in a very white city. I grew up with racist parents. So coming from that, 100%, I have said racist things. I had prejudices, stereotypes, probably was racist. And then when I moved to New York and I had the exposure and I became friends with people, I was like, well, that ain't right. And I would hate. No, but I'm being.
You're saying, hey, I'd fuck a black guy now, right?
Well, that ain't right.
No,
But that
So,
ain't
like,
right.
Mo
That's
became
right.
like unbiased through osmosis of
Osmosis.
colored dick.
Well, but I'm yes.
She's like, some of
Fuck.
this.
All
Black
dicks
guy.
are black when you turn the lights off. Okay. No, but
That is not true.
being very.
No, not true.
But
The
I'm
Asian
being
ones are not.
I'm being very real with you guys that, I would hate to live in a society where you can't evolve as a person because something you said as a dum-dum 10 years ago or 15 years ago is held against you. I'm not saying Shane, it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
So I do recognize that. But my point is this, that when you look at, good God, look at like fucking, what's her face? Like Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Mickey Rooney is like, Mickey Rooney plays an Asian man. You know what let us evolve. Like, give us that. And that's the same thing with Kevin Hart, right? Like, he tweeted something and it was ignorant. I'm 100% sure he doesn't feel that way anymore because you evolve as a person. So the thing is I don't want to live in a society where you can't evolve as a person because if you said this 10 or 15 years ago in a completely different type of place, fuck you anyhow.
Okay, and I agree with you 100%. I don't want anybody to say, well, this politician or this person did this 20, 30 years ago. It was different at that time. However,
But let them speak about it. Like,
Let 'em
where are
speak
you
about it.
now?
Where are
I
you
do
now?
want to know where you are now.
well, how about Justin Trudeau with the blackface?
Right. I wanna
mean,
know. I wanna know.
I mean, he did it multiple times, and he was an adult, and it wasn't that long
I
ago.
don't know why you need to do that. Like, you don't have to make anyhow.
Yeah, like white people, why do you do this?
I don't know. I've never.
That I don't. That I don't.
I've never.
That I don't.
I have no clue why
I've
we
never
would do
done
this.
whiteface ever, and I've never even thought about it. Like I've literally for Halloween.
Although
I've
the Wayans brothers
I was gonna
with
say
the two white girls.
I've been a clown.
I'm fucking around.
But
But
that's
what?
like
I've been a
clown.
clown.
That's not. But I've been Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones, and I didn't think to myself, well, you know something. She was a white lady, so I should really do a white face.
Like,
Like
we love Mike up. No,
It's-
I'm
it's
kidding.
like-
I'm fucking around.
But why would we do that? I don't know
know.
anybody who
I
would
really
do that.
don't.
I've never met anybody who would do that. Who is, you know.
I don't know, but you know, but that's what I'm saying is that there is a evolution that can happen with people, and I would hate for us to be like, oh, you've evolved, but we're gonna get you for what you did when you were dumb.
And I agree with
But
that
Yes.
because I feel like he should have had the opportunity to change his ways, apologize for it, and then, you know, give him a couple of months on the show. And if he does some stupid shit or he says some stupid shit, then cancel him.
Okay, I'm gonna be
But
honest
like
with you.
Kevin
I'm
Hart
not
lost out
100%.
on the Academy Awards.
Yeah, I'm not
Right.
100% on board with the
Exactly.
Shane. Like, I know everybody's like glommed onto the Shane Gillis thing, and forgive me, Shane, I don't know you. I'm sure you're funny and you're great, but
I didn't know him well enough to be invested.
Well, I feel like I'm going to be very honest with you. I feel like what people are arguing about and fighting for with him is valid. I think he's the wrong person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think it's the wrong example and it's the wrong person.
Yeah.
So here's the one thing: if the
You
Asian
bet it on
community,
the wrong horse.
if the Asian community doesn't complain, then why do other people complain?
Because
as
we're
much?
woke, bitch. What's up?
Is that what it is? Okay. I mean, it should be. It's like using the word. You know, it's like using bad words. You know, if it just
I mean,
doesn't seem
Asians
to me. I
are
mean, it
kind
just-
of like generally speaking, broad strokes. Asians are very racist
They
to
are,
begin
of
with.
course.
right.
So like it's just kind of like, but I feel like coming from a person of color's perspective, and people can come after me for this if they want. I feel like as people of color, that Asians benefit from having the stereotype of the like the perfect minority. So like people are just kind of like,
I mean,
oh,
we'll put
know,
you in camps, but you also make great shoes. Is
no,
that what you mean?
I feel
No,
like
well, they're-
no, I feel like people like think that like, oh, Asians,
Joke.
you're smart, you're submissive, you are like good cooks.
Yeah, they don't
And-
cause problems.
And you don't cause problems.
Well,
I
those are
feel
good
like-
stereotypes. I think we can live with, right? They
But-
can be happy with.
But like this is the whole thing is that like as a race
also
of
own our country
people,
now.
I feel like Asians benefit from their stereotypes, whereas other races are kind of are held back from their stereotypes.
This is true, but it's also
Yeah, 'cause,
historical
like-
because there was a point. And see, this is the thing, and this is what people don't understand because a lot of people don't want to fucking read a history book. Like, they don't understand that at one point they were put in internment camps, right? I'm
that
white
is,
as
like,
shit. I am
World
white
War
as shit.
II, and that was just Japanese, but like that
But-
wasn't
And it was
like
just
But
Japanese.
still,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there
it
was
was just
Japanese in
Japanese.
the-
But let me tell you.
Sulu was there for
You,
goodness
but
sakes.
do you think a racist is going to sit there and try to differentiate between Japanese and Chinese?
And I totally understand
But you
that,
know what
like,
I mean?
during like like the
But listen,
the
I'm white
railroads.
as fuck, and I dealt with a lot of bullshit because I grew up during the Cold War, and I'm not. Please don't misunderstand. I'm not like my plight.
You're a Russian satellite. I understand.
Yeah, we
No,
are.
but-
yeah.
but I'm saying-
You're working with Trump, aren't you? Come on.
Right.
But but like that's so my point in
But I
saying
forgave
this.
you because I knew you beforehand.
Thank you, and I'm still spying on you.
That's fine.
But the reason
I'm
say
getting no
this
dick.
is like we're just we're garbage as people. We're
All of
garbage.
us.
Yeah, all of
like
us.
everybody
Yeah.
has had that, and it's just like on the one hand, I do want to support kind of like stop with that, but also like sometimes we just need to come more to the middle than this massive pendulum swing.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. It's almost like the boy that cried wolf. You know, sometimes when you go too far with this shit, it gets people stop listening because they're like, this is just ridiculous. I'm just being like, that's my opinion,
and I feel
you
like
should say it. But
right
like,
now, I'm having like sensitivity because the boy like cried wolf just because of work things. But like, so
I don't know what that's about, but go on. girl.
Right.
that's my own personal moment
Okay.
that I just had out loud.
Okay.
All right.
But like,
Okay.
here's the thing that I feel when people say that the boy that cried wolf is that like sometimes the data is telling you this shit is about to explode. And like sometimes the data is telling you we're due for the big earthquake. And when you have an earthquake, it's like, meh, that was an earthquake, but that wasn't the big one. Although like all the data is telling you you're due for 100-year earthquake. And then when you have one, it's not that 100-year earthquake. So everyone's telling you that you're the boy that cried wolf. However,
so is it like Irene and Sandy?
like,
No, but you know what I
the
mean?
big one that hasn't happened in California, where California is going to break
No,
the fuck off.
but putting it in a
it's-
New
it's
York
like-
no, but putting it in a New York context, we had 2 hurricanes.
Right.
The first one, they were like, brace yourselves, and it kind of petered out.
and then
And
you
then
had
everybody
Sandy.
was
You had
like,
Sandy.
whatever. And then you had Sandy, and it was like, fuck.
Right, because like
I'm being real
sometimes
about
but the
that.
data is
sometimes
telling
the
us
Is that
that.
what you
data
mean?
is telling you that like something severe is coming down the pike because historically, if you look at this, that, and the other thing,
I do believe
this is
that.
happening.
I do believe that.
However, not every single time that some occurrence happens, this is the big one. So like when you like say to somebody like, okay, we are due for the 100-year storm. We are due for the 100-year earthquake. All the data is supporting the fact that like every 100 years we have an earthquake, a storm that does this amount of damage. And now if you project it out into the future with the amount of buildings that we have, this is the kind of catastrophic damage we're expected to have. And then when you have a storm or an earthquake and it's not that 100-year storm and it's not that 100-year earthquake, people call you the boy that cried wolf. And maybe that's not the storm that happens. Maybe that storm happens 10 years later, but it doesn't mean that storm doesn't fucking happen. It's just not every single storm is that catastrophic. And you can't really predict, like, oh my God, Ivan is the one, Dorian is the one, fucking Julian is the one. But you know that
I hear what you're
You
saying.
know
I hear
there's
what you're
shit.
saying.
Sorry, I was
hear.
watching because I think Umberto was like on the way, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why do they always have like these Latin names for these?
By the way, can I say something?
Because they're racist.
Umberto.
Not to be an asshole and take
Ivan,
this off, but
Ivan.
I heard Umberto, and this is how fucking white I am. I'm like, we're up to the U's, and then I realized in Spanish
H.
it's an H. It took me a fucking minute. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I
was
did
like,
that shit
that's
too.
definitely-
Because I was just
that was
like,
this is
oh.
some racist shit.
Exactly.
Like for real, they're like, oh
Wait,
yeah.
we were just at Dorian. How the fuck does this happen?
Fuck you. I never took Spanish. Sorry.
And I lived in
No.
Arizona,
No, that's-
and I don't even know Spanish.
No,
that's pretty bad.
No, I 100% hear what you're saying on that.
So now, okay.
Not
Before
like, but
you
yeah.
head out though,
But I hear what you're saying. And
do you
it's valid.
feel like as people were connecting?
Only when there's White Claw involved.
Well,
Yeah,
yes,
you know,
exactly.
We're connecting right now, but that's because
Exactly.
we're
Now-
comics and we're intelligent.
It's really fucking weird right now. It really is. I mean, again, I'm older, so I had the privilege, and I'm going to call it a privilege, of growing up where there wasn't internet, and you genuinely had friendships where, you know, you talked on the like that was a big thing when I was young
Yeah.
to get your own phone line.
Me
Yeah.
too. That was a big.
Right.
But I think we're connecting more now because I have friends who I haven't
Wait,
seen
but
because
really
of texting.
But
calling
how are
on
you
cell.
connecting?
We're
Because here's
talking.
the thing.
We're
I've got but I've got thousands of friends. Do I really?
No, but I can call my friends in Canada. I can call my friends free
Who's,
plans. Whatever.
who's
There's
coming
no
to my
long
funeral?
distance.
I always think, who's coming to my fucking funeral?
But see, here's the
I'll
whole
be
thing.
there with orchids.
Is it if it was
Love
back in the
you.
day?
If-
you
Love
would
you.
still have
And
like,
if I can get on the subway, okay, without the protests, I'll be there too. You know, if it's hard to do. If I don't have a show, if I don't have a set that night, right, then I'll
I just feel like
it has
a
to
real
be, like,
comic.
right.
I feel like it has to be orchids because like Mo would want vaginas everywhere.
Lick my orchids.
It's
Respect my death.
Like my pussy and my orchid.
Just a bunch of George O'Keeffe paintings all over that funeral home. That's me. I think it's a really fascinating time right now with that because you look at like dating apps, you look at social media. I mean, girl,
Like-
please, we just went for drinks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I literally just connected with that dude and connected with our bartender on Instagram. But what the fuck does that really mean?
right.
You know
and
what I mean?
I feel like we appreciate it because we know like back in the day like,
Other-
how it used
yeah.
to be.
Right.
But I feel like we're fucking up the new generation because these
they don't
kids
understand
out
what
here
reality
are not gonna
is.
understand really what reality is.
Right.
And I feel like one day it's all gonna crash. The internet's gonna crash.
And they're
My,
not gonna
my
speak with
old
anybody.
my
What
old
the fuck
Hungarian
are people
mother
gonna do?
my old Hungarian mother used to tell me because I'd be like, they're my friend, and she'd be like, really they're your friend, really they come to your bedside at hospital, really? And I
Yeah.
mean, not to be morbid, but that's how
But
I kind
no,
of think
for
about it. I'm
real.
like, who's
No,
gonna
it's true
fucking be
because
there?
if the internet goes,
You
we'll be
post
walking
a
around
sad
going, "Are you my
post.
friend? Are you my friend? Are you my friend?" I mean, we're not going to
Right.
know who these
Like
people
half
are.
these
You
people,
post a sad
and
post,
I have
and
a
nobody
rule.
likes it. I'm gonna jump off a bridge right now.
I have
and you
a
get 0
rule.
likes,
Like-
no comments.
On Facebook in particular, because you get so many friend requests,
Yes.
and I'm just like, if I have not met you in person, I will not friend you.
But what if you have
Oh.
like 200 friends in common? Then you'll do it because
Nope.
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 Really? No, I look at how many friends we have.
Yeah,
No.
I usually look at that.
No.
I
and
use
I'll
it
say,
as a
We're
gauge.
fucking comics.
We're gonna have.
We
a,
are.
So then we'll
but
have-
I
No.
also feel
I
like
have-
there's
I
a lot
have
of
some,
creepy
but it keeps
people
down on the
that have
trolling.
that too.
But you
Yeah,
can also
because-
delete them. You can also delete them as well, or unfriend
Yeah.
them, or whatever.
But
Yeah,
I
but
don't
here's
want
the
to read their
thing.
Trumpy shit.
But here's the thing,
beforehand.
like, okay, so all of us as comics, we post crazy shit, right? When I post crazy shit, right, you guys know me. So if I post two things, like if I post something that you disagree with, you'll either be like, dumb, or you'll message me and be like, I didn't like that. That was fucked up. Like, and we'll have a conversation
But
about
I'll
it.
never
But if
message
you
you,
don't,
for that because I'm just like, you know something. I respect Monica as an artist.
but because you know me though, but because
But
you
how
know
about
me.
this? If
but
you don't like
if
something-
you don't know somebody.
Right.
if you were a white male that I didn't know, I'd be like, this is a racist prick.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
That's
what if
my
you
point.
right?
You know
what are you
me.
gonna do? You're
And
gonna
if it was
delete
really
them.
bad, I do feel like you would be like, "That's fucked up. Why did you fucking what the fuck?" You know. And that's why I really try, especially on Facebook, because I do, and I get drunk.
Right.
But
Oh,
like
drunk
I
on
really
Facebook.
try to stick with people that I've met at least once, and it does keep down on the trolling too, because I'm just like, you've met me face to face now, so what did you just send me? It does.
I
it
don't-
does.
So, like, on Facebook itself, I don't get that much trolling, but I also feel like I've already kind of built an online persona that, like, I am not open to that. So, like, you can, like, try to troll me, but, like, at the same time, expect me to, like,
Block your ass.
like, you know, I'm going to block you
But
or I'm going to
listen
go.
to our
into
Block
it.
my
but
big
listen to
white
our
ass.
language
Block
about
that
this.
ass. Ah.
And we're all in this, so this
Yeah.
isn't me
Yeah.
on a high horse. But listen to our language. First of all, friends. Like,
We're friends.
friends meant something, truly.
Back in the day.
It did.
Really?
in
Really?
the
I
day.
have thousands of friends? I 100% do not.
Right.
I
Yeah.
100%
Now you're talking.
do not.
They're
Now you're
all
talking about. Now
associates.
you're talking about just social media, and
But I'm
social
talking
media
about language.
is different.
But I'm talking about language in social media, right? And
Because
this
a friend
friend
should be-
and unfriend.
That's not
and
a-
this.
Because
But,
the real
but you brought up
a
a good
real
point. Is
friend
that
is like-
because we're of a generation
We
that
understand
understands what that really
what
means?
real friendship
But
is.
when you grow up in this,
somebody, the kids nowadays,
and that's why
are
this
gonna grow
online
up
bullying and
thinking
stuff.
friends and social media in the same aspect when that's not what a real friend is.
No.
But
Like-
Of course
also, like
not,
the
but
bullying part of that is like kind of like I used to get bullied a lot when I was in elementary school.
Yeah, me too.
And-
We all did. That's why we're comics, right? I mean, we all got shit on,
So,
right?
Absolutely
like-
agree.
Yeah,
But,
totally.
like that's the whole thing. Is like now today,
My parents were the best bullies.
the kids that are getting bullied today are actually thinking about killing themselves. And like when I was bullied and like someone came after me or was like trying to be like a physical threat to me, I knew if I won that fight, if I just fought them, even if I lost, but if I just even fought them, the bullying would go down. But if I won that fight, I knew no one's going to fuck with me for a couple of months because
Right.
they're like, this bitch is crazy. And like, you
Yep.
might even go bananas and have to go into.
Wait,
That's
but
what-
Louis
Yeah,
C.K.
that's
exactly
Wait, I
the
know
same
how
thing.
much we hate Louis
what
C.K.
you had to
these days,
learn
but
as a kid with the bully.
But Louis
you had to
C.K.
learn
talks
that.
about this. He had a bit, and I
in
think it's
between
valid.
masturbating on someone's face.
100%.
You know what? I didn't
But he,
think.
get-
I
but
don't.
he does.
Ooh, I
but
got a
he
bit.
does,
Oh, I got a bit.
Like very legitimately, and this is true. He does talk about this. He's like, back in my day, when you bullied somebody, it was face to face. So when you hurt somebody, you had to deal with the consequences.
Exactly.
So either getting fucking punched in the face or tears or whatever. And there's a humanity and a human like visceral reaction that comes out to that. Like I genuinely hurt this person, but when you do that online,
It's so
you don't
easy.
have
It's
that.
so
You
easy to
don't-
do it.
You don't have that connection. And I almost think like with even dating apps, it's like that. Like there are guys who are so fucking pedestrian looking.
Oh,
Get me
I
started,
used to go-
bitch.
I went
know,
on the-
and I gotta go.
You
gonna
left us
drop
on
that
the you left us
bombshell.
on the dating app.
Right,
I
'cause
tried that. I did that.
literally-
Dora's box. You're welcome.
Literally just took my picture off that shit like yesterday.
But that's what it is.
We
and
should-
that's why I'm saying, like, are we connecting? Truly, are we connecting?
No, we're not. The bottom line is we're not connecting.
See, and I think, and I agree with you 90%
And
of
I
it.
blame White Claw. No,
You blame White Claw.
Let's basic bitch strength. Because us basic bitches are not connecting. Go on, Lori, and then we're going to wrap this.
All right. I think, no, I agree with you 100%. I've done the dating apps. I've done everything. It's horrible. I can't stand that. I know that the bullying thing.
Oh, we're going to
I
talk
had
about
this-
that next segment.
I had the same thing. Well, if we're going to talk about it next segment, then I'm going to hold on to it. But I remember being bullied in school. These three girls used to, take,
now they
snow
work at
washes, this and that.
Target.
No, you know what? I went up to one of them when the leader was alone and not around anybody else in the
Yes,
fifth grade.
they don't have
I
that
went up to her. She
power.
didn't have the power. She was bigger than me because I'm tiny. I didn't know what to do. I went up with my fist and I slugged her in the face.
Amen.
That group never bothered me again. And
Right.
that's what you have to do. And unfortunately, we have to turn off the internet. I know it's hard. I know it's this. If you just block all of those people, they can't hurt you. And you're right. It's so easy to hurt somebody when you can't see them. It's like it's easy for a guy to dump you or a woman to dump you when they'll never see you and they just ghost you.
Yeah.
And they
Because
don't do
you're
that
not a
anymore.
person.
Exactly.
You're not a person.
And that's
I
what
am
don't
a
like.
motherfucking person.
Me too.
I am.
Completely and
I
wholly.
am.
And
Yeah.
Don't make me feel bad about ghosting.
You have to have enough guts to say, "Hey, I'm not interested," and just move on. But
I
you know,
I
it's
don't
hard for people
understand.
to
Me
do
not
that.
like
responding is
lost that.
saying I'm not interested.
That is true. I don't like the "I'll call you tomorrow." Well, okay.
I didn't say that.
prefer
Let's go on.
somebody
I
being
literally
like,
No,
act like I don't exist.
I just want to tell you what happened.
All right, we gotta wrap this up. But before we go, everyone tell the folks where can they follow you on social media? What projects are you working on? I will start with you, Rodney Daniels.
I am going to be hosting Fashionably Funny next Friday with Marissa Smith. 10 o'clock at the Broadway Comedy Club. Guess you.
Awesome.
I miss you guys.
Hey, can I get a spot on that? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to be at Urban Vegan Kitchen October
Word.
5th.
Tell Dara hi.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's great. I was just there. It's
Yes.
great. It's a lot of fun.
And I'm also producing my first show
Ooh.
October 5th.
Good. Can I get on it too? No, I'm just kidding.
Yo, holler at me. It's about to become a monthly.
Okay.
Like, come out, see it. I got Janice Massetti.
Janice Massetti. Love her.
Yeah,
She's great. She's awesome.
She's hosting. She's amazing.
Yes, she
got
is.
a bunch of comics. Todd Monacy's on the show. Marissa's on the
word.
show. It's about to be amazing. Yeah.
That's
$6
awesome.
drink specials.
Good.
Come on.
Word,
If you're in
Lori.
Brooklyn.
I have a bunch of shows here, but I got to tell you, I'm going on the road. I'm leaving the beginning of October. I'm doing my home club in Tucson, Arizona. Then I'm doing a corporate benefit thing. And then I got a bunch of shows here in between. And then I'm leaving to go on tour in Western Canada in November, the second half of November.
Word.
So
at you,
you
working
can
out.
catch me
She
there.
international
I
now.
know. You can either catch me there or in Alberta, Canada, where I'm not from. But that's what I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to hopefully do your shows. And I'm just around, just bumping in and out of sets. You know how it is.
Yes.
Movida.
Well.
You can follow me at Mokavida, MOKAVIDA, on Insta, Twitter. I actually am heading out of New York on Tuesday to go do Altercation Comedy Festival in Austin, Texas.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm
That's
super
awesome.
excited. So that's next week. And I also have a podcast called The Black and White Cookie Show. So please check us out. And also please give us 5 stars.
Absolutely.
Marissa Smith.
You can catch me here every Friday from 6 to 8 for Big Talk and Brewskis. Check out my other podcast, The Blame Storming. If you enjoy any of this shit, give us a 5-star rating and review us. You can also catch me at Broadway Comedy Club September the 27th for Big Talk and Brewskis.
Yeah.
I'm also going to be at the Hoboken Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
Yes, girl.
Yes, girl.
October the 1st. I'm super excited about that. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And remember, you guys.
Be kind.
No, fuck being kind. Fuck being kind. Our president had actually made a
Grab a
deal
pussy? What? I
with
don't know.
a foreign government that was so offensive that a member of national security has made a formal complaint that our, I don't know,
Don't be a Trump supporter.
fucking,
That's the whistleblower that's on the news today.
yeah, exactly.
Whistleblower.
The like
Rodney's
fucking
like, what are
bar.
you blowing?
Bar that looks like if
What?
Roseanne Barr decided to cut her hair. Barr decided that it's illegal for this whistleblower that's trying to protect the republic to come
You smell
forward.
that bullshit? You smell
I
that
smell-
manure fresh in the morning?
This is some bullshit.
It's not napalm. It's manure.
This is welcome to Vietnam. It's just like fresh napalm in the morning.
Morning!
Good night. Goodbye. We love you.